Hi guys, it's Justin.Swift here. Welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I'll be refreshing my Claudine Wolf, Cleo Denal, and Gluia Yelps. Now, I wasn't even going to make a video for these, but I recently posted my Robecca scene on Twitter, and then a bunch of people were asking me how I curled her hair, so I thought I would make a whole video on how I curled all hair, and I just decided to tag along Cleo Denal and Gluia Yelps since I already needed to refresh them in the first place. So without further ado, let's get into the washing experience since there is no unboxing to do. Starting off, we have Gluia, whom I've already done in the past, but I can never get her hair fully straight, so I'll be giving her a flat iron treatment along with a boil wash. And then along with that, she does have an issue with her arms, like with all Creeproductions, where they don't go fully straight down, which I'll be fixing. And then here is Cleo, who's probably the one who doesn't need as much help, as her hair is just fine as is, but it is very waxy feeling and very stiff. So we're just gonna be giving her a wash. And here we have the start of the video, Claudine, who I'll be giving the same curling method I recently did with my Creeproduction Robecca. Fix the issue with the arms on Alumni Monster High dolls, we just have to tie an elastic around the elbow joint and then warp the plastic with boiling water. And I always use Garnier Sleek and Shine conditioner and shampoo when washing, but since I'm running out of conditioner, I'm going to be using this purple one. And then along with that, since like I said earlier how Cleo's hair is kind of waxy feeling, I'm going to basically be treating this like it's glue seepage, so I'm going to be using some Sift cream. And now we're obviously going to need a kettle, like come on. I just got this from Target. I'll put the link in the description if you're interested in which one I use, but without further ado, let's get into the washing segment. So I usually don't talk through this part of the video, but why not switch it up for once in a while? So in my last video, I did say that this video would have been a collection video, which was sort of true. I mean, I had the collection video ready and set to go. It was fully edited and it was gonna come out last month, but I was just sitting with my collection for a little and I realized that it wasn't something I was really happy with, and it was mainly with Monster High G3. When starting to collect G3, I definitely had a bunch of love for them. I loved what was getting put out, but I think over time, just like my collecting preferences have changed and like what I like in a doll has changed drastically. And so it's not even out of like regret. Like I don't regret buying any of those dolls, because when I bought those dolls, I did like them. Like I generally did enjoy buying one, but honestly, just getting one now doesn't really bring me like any fulfillment. So I've gotten back in and I've just gotten rid of some. I have gone in and tried to fix the ones I wanted to keep, trying to make them like the best version that they could be to fit into my standards and what I like about G3 so much. But yeah, so the collection video is still coming out. I have 3 more dolls that I plan on getting just before I can make that video, since it'll mainly be prioritizing my Monster High collection. One of them is already coming in, which I plan on making a video for, which I shouldn't say if this video isn't what the video I said it was gonna be, but you know, I do have one coming out soon. I'm recording this the day the video is getting posted, so I'm trying to get this video out pretty quickly because the doll is coming in today. But yeah, I've just been changing up my collection, trying to make it as good as it can be, because I want to make a video of something I'm proud of. You know, I don't want to post something that's not what I fully want. But yeah, and now we're just going on with the boiling the arms. As you can see, I'm pouring boiling water on the arms, and this basically just warps the plastic to get it to set in, and then we let this cool off. We usually give it about the day, you know, the same time you'd give when you like boil a doll with curls. And then after, I just like putting like cold water on the arms, trying to get it to set in place, and then afterwards just use whatever you have left over to pour boiling water on their head. But yeah, I've just been changing up my collection, and there are a few more dolls I want to get. I mean, I want to get the new Descendants dolls. Those new Mirror Me dolls look really interesting. I may get one just for fun to see what it's all about. Finally getting to the point of this video, I'll be curling Claudine. Now to start off, I did cut her hair below her hips, which is not needed. I just had already done that. And then we are not going to be needing these rusty bobby pins. Yeah, throw that shit away. Alright, and we're going to be needing some gel. Now you can use any. I use Trust Me, but I prefer got to be glued. And then we're going to need some straws, obviously, some scissors, some tweezers, some sectioning clips, a spray bottle, and of course a sewing kit, which we'll be using the pins for. Now, to not use end papers, I'm just going to be using some paper napkins, which I've split into half, which I'll be then cutting into some squares. And this gets the same job done, so don't worry about like one giving different effects. Alright, and now that we've finished preparation, we can finally get into curling. So I'm going to start off by getting some gel, and I'm just going to be running this throughout the hair. Now I like doing this because with saran, those curls drop like very quickly, so putting product in definitely helps making them last longer. And honestly, every single time I've curled doll hair, like I've re-curled it, the curls stay in the exact same shape. I've just changed them because I didn't like how they looked anymore. So we're going to start off by re-wetting the hair. I just got my spray bottle, getting some more gel, even though we already ran through some gel throughout the hair. And after this, we're just going to make sure it's as sleek as possible. Now I'm going in my comb to refine this, just making it as sleek. We don't want any flyaways really, and even if there was, it doesn't really matter because we're going to fix it when styling. Now I'm gonna get my end paper, spray some water, and I'm gonna roll it all the way down to the bottom. Now we want it halfway through, half of it being the hair, half of it just being by itself. Then we're gonna get our straw, close it with the rest of the end paper that doesn't have hair on it, and then we're just gonna start rolling this up. Now I like rolling them inwards instead of outwards. In my last video with Rebecca, I did curl them in outwards, but for the way I did that Rebecca, I curled it inwards, so that's what we're gonna be doing here. So we're just gonna roll it, make sure it's as tight to the scalp as we can. And after this, you're gonna wanna stab the straw into the head using a sewing pin. I do not have any with me at this point, so I'm gonna be using a needle. Don't do that. All right, now to go over instructions again, spray the end paper, then slide it all the way to the ends. Make sure half of it still has hair, half of it doesn't. Enclose it with the straw, roll it all the way up, make sure it's tight, and then stab it into the head. And then after this is how your Claudine should look like. Here's how many I did, just for reference if you want to do the same as I did. And then after this, we're going to be pouring boiling water on her head and just let her dry. Alright, now after waiting for it to dry, we are now just going to be taking out all the pins throughout the hair. Now since I did use needles instead of sewing pins, I'm going to be using tweezers to take all these out because it'd probably be very difficult if I was using my hands. And now we can finally take out the curls. So as you can just see, I'm just rolling them out, rolling them the opposite direction that we previously did. So instead of rolling them inward, now we're rolling them outward. And then I'm just going to be doing it throughout the scalp. It does get very messy very quickly, but do not worry because that's what the whole styling portion is for. And now we can finally begin with styling. So I'm just going to start off by taking every single curl and combing it through, and then getting the ends and wrap it through my finger. Wait, through or two? Whatever. And then after that, we're just gonna let it go, and we can just separate, style, and then obviously this is just preferential because you're styling it based off the way you like it, and obviously the way I curled it is not going to turn out the same way you do. So if you want to curl it outward, then comb it going outward in that direction. If you want to curl it inward, then comb it going inward. It really is just the way you like it. My biggest advice is do not fight the curl. If the curl wants to go one way, you just gotta let it go that one way, because if not, the curl is gonna start getting looser and it's gonna start losing its shape. And then once you are finished with that, it's more just hair placement, so we just like put a curl over here instead of there, and then getting some thread to make sure it's secure and shut and like won't move out the way. And then obviously we gotta put in some hairspray. Now you don't want to overdo it to where you can see the product visible on the hair, because I've done that multiple times. And that is Justin.so13's curling method. Thank you.
I hate to say it, but they play this damn song in every club. But it's me, so I'll show love. But it's me, so show me love. And when I walk into the room, people stop and stare. It's like nobody else is there. You know it's me, not you.
starting out here, we have Claudine Wolf. Now, here's just a 360 on her. As you can tell, I've like gelled the curls to the max. I just do this because Saran curls drop really fast if you do not put any product in. That's like one of the downsides on it. She's really gorgeous. I've kept redoing her over and over again. She was actually the first one I did with my new curling method, but after doing Robecca, who was the last one I had to curl, I decided to come back to Claudine just to see how different I did. To be honest, it's pretty similar. Like, I don't think I've changed much on how I would have styled Claudine, like comparing photos from then to now. But I'm still really happy with how she turned out. As you can tell, oh, she's so gorgeous. And here is Cleo Denal all done. So here's just a 360 of her all around. As you can tell, I put some product in as it's sleek. If you didn't know, I actually did a video of her, my first doll hair wash video, where I did Spectra and Cleo for the Creeproductions Wave 2 back when they dropped on Amazon. In that video, I did detinsel her. I just did this because I do not like working with tinsel at all. I would do it to all my dolls. The only doll I haven't detinseled is my pre-production Abby, and that is just because she has it rooted throughout her entire scalp. And I hate myself, but I don't hate myself to put myself through that, like detinseling her like crazy. Saving the best for last, here we have Galea Yelps. Now, I did straighten her hair off camera. If you're interested in how I did that, my last video where I straightened Venus gives a full-on tutorial on how I straighten my doll's hair. And it's still the same way for Saran. If anything, I did not wet her hair at all. I don't know, I've been doing this for so long that I don't even get afraid to like straighten dry hair at this point, which I do not recommend. But if you are interested, here are the results. It looks so clean, oh my goodness. I mean, her hair is kind of choppy, but I did not do that. I did get her back when they dropped on Paulsmart, if y'all even remember that site. And she was like 50 bucks, but I wanted her so badly, so I asked for her for Christmas and I got her. And I also threaded her headband and her glasses to the bang piece that's been tied to the back of her head. If you want to know how to do this, her headband has 2 holes on both sides that I loop through with a thread, and then I stick the glasses in through, which sounds complicated, but if like you saw it, like it'd be kind of like a loop, and then you just stick God, I do not know my words. You stick the side of the glasses in through the loop, and then you tighten it, and then you just double knot it. And then that's how I did it on both sides. And now I'll show you how they look on display. And here's them all up on display. Now, I'm really happy with how these turned out, as I feel like I've improved so much coming back to these dolls that I've already done in the past. And as always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye.